Well, hi, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Ralph. I'm behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And guess what, Ralph?
What?
We have a special guest in
Where?
the Cavalcade Cottage Kitchen
today.
None other than our friend Skip.
Skip McClatchy.
Hi,
foodies.
Say hi to our food friend, Skip.
Good friends.
Skip McClatchy, Private Eye, making a return appearance.
Exactly. Skip was on a long time ago. I don't even remember what we made.
We made a salad.
It was a salad.
Yeah. I'll never forget it.
Okay, well, see, he won't. I forgot, but he remembers. But you know what? That was then, and this is now.
Right, and they say the memory's the second thing to go.
I think that's correct, actually. So, what I want everyone to know is Skip's here because so it's really we're having kind of a hot fall, an unexpectedly hot fall day, but we are having him and our friend Helen and other friends over for dinner today, and Skip volunteered to make Irish soda bread, and I might say he is Irish.
Yeah.
And he even came and tell us about this.
This is my Utila kilt.
The Utila kilt.
And I got it at the Highland Games this year. And it's not the dress kilt. That would be more of a plaid and wool. But this is cotton.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is what you would wear in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And this would touch the ground if you were to kneel.
Yeah. If you were to kneel, that's the perfect height.
Not like the Scottish ones.
Well, that tells you where to put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some, scoot it down, but I don't play that.
Well, you know what? We are glad to have Skip and his kilt in the kitchen today.
And on a warm day.
It's
really nice.
I'll bet it is. I wish I had a kilt on.
Yeah, I think Skip really
It's
kilts
hot
it.
in this kitchen. Yeah. So anyway, Skip's going to make a couple of versions of Irish soda bread.
Right.
And we're going to have it with a wonderful pot roast for dinner.
Yum.
And we've done pot roast before, and you can check out our recipe on Cavalcade.
But today it's all about the soda bread.
Today it's all about the Irish soda bread. So Skip, walk us through it. What are we doing?
So we're going to do two kinds. We're going to have the white flour, and we'll do that with raisins, and that's good for like a morning bread. And it's great if you toast it with just toast and butter. But some people use
jam or something.
Yeah, honey or apple butter. But it's just straight toasted.
Irish butter preferred?
Yes, Kerrygold Irish butter is wonderful because Irish cows are happy cows. We put a little bit of Guinness in their water, and they are very happy. And then we'll do whole wheat. And I go to the bulk food stores and get the stone ground whole wheat. You can buy whole wheat that's processed in the bags in the market, but this has a little bit of, my cousin who taught me how to do it, said it's got the bits in it, which I think she means is some of the chaff is in there. So it makes it a hearty brown bread. They call it brown bread. And I'll add some caraway seeds to flavor that.
Ooh, yum.
Wonderful.
And that's good.
Okay.
For the second one.
And the bread, you can make the bread and you can freeze it and thaw it, and it works out great.
Beautiful. Well, we love bread and we love making bread. So we're glad that you're here with us.
This is really very easy bread, and that's why the Irish make it. It's risen because of the buttermilk and the baking soda.
Okay. It's not a yeast bread, right? Okay.
That's a rising agent.
So when they say Irish soda bread, the soda they're talking about is baking soda, right?
Correct.
Got it.
Not Faygo, not club soda.
Okay. All right. So
sorry to confuse you.
That's okay. I'm easily confused, believe me. So start us off.
All right. So we will start with a pound of flour. I've got this measured out. So we'll just put that in there.
And you can give me I'll be your sous chef here.
Okay.
And get things out of your
A boy
way.
named Sue.
Chef.
That's my fork.
That's all right. You need just a regular fork?
No, I need
Like a big
Yeah, I had. I thought I took it out. It's like a carving.
Okay, hold on.
And a big spoon if you have it.
right behind you, Skip. There's some in that corner. See? Yeah.
Here it is, Skip. Here's your fork.
Okay, yeah.
And you want a wooden spoon or a plastic
No, just
spoon?
a metal spoon.
Like
Just,
a tablespoon?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be adding
sure.
flour.
Okay.
So we start with a pound of flour, and then we're gonna add
There
4
you go.
ounces of flour.
Okay.
So I've got my little scale here, and it has a tare,
Mm-hmm.
so you can put this on it and hit the tare, and it'll bring it back to
Zero. You got that, Ralph? So you're going to use, you're going to put another 4 ounces of flour.
Mhm.
So 1 pound in the bowl,
Yep.
4 ounces going into on the scale here.
Right, and then we're gonna add some things to that.
So 4 ounces is a quarter of a pound by weight, by the way.
You're a mathematician.
You know, well, I learned about measuring at an early age.
Yeah.
I was born at an early age.
Yes, you were.
And
4 ounces on the money.
more of a
4
mathematician.
ounces. And we're going to
Baking soda.
Baking soda, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you use rubber. Okay. So we'll put in 1 teaspoon baking soda.
Okay. You can level it right there with the top.
Yep.
There you go. 1 teaspoon of baking
Baking
soda.
soda. Got
Okay.
it.
Okay. And then we're also going to add, excuse me. I know you didn't want me to bend down with my
That's-
kilt, huh? I know
That's
you were
all right.
worried, but I've
You know,
done
this is a family
before.
program.
Done this before.
Now, what is this?
This is Beck's tartar. It's from Ireland. It's cream of tartar.
Oh, okay.
Cream of
But my
tartar.
cousin thought, so
real
she brought
deal.
it to me.
But you could
so.
use any cream of tartar
Cream
if you
of
don't
tartar,
have
okay.
Beck's.
Okay, cream of tartar. I think
Yep.
that's a lot of people have that. We often use cream of tartar when we're beating egg whites.
There we go.
Okay.
And I had salt here.
Yes, you do, right
there it
here.
is. Oh, there's Morton. Yep.
Okay.
So, and 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
To the 4 ounces of flour.
Right. And then we'll just sift that all in to the other flour.
Okay.
Into the measuring.
Got it. Okay.
Or you could just use a sieve, and you could just bang it through the sieve.
Sure.
So. Okay.
I do apologize for not having the appropriate background music, but we have Patsy Cline and a variety of music
Patsy
going.
O'Klein.
Patsy O'Klein.
Very good.
Yes.
So those are the dry ingredients. And this is going to be a breakfast bread, so we're going to add some golden raisins.
Golden raisins. About how much?
I'm going to put, this is a 15-ounce box, and I'll put about half of the box in there.
Okay. All right.
My cousin, Mary McGran Markey from County Monaghan, gave me this recipe, and her husband said you can never put too many raisins.
Wow.
in this-
I like
in
the
this
way he
soda.
thinks.
Yeah. Okay, so about half a box of raisins.
Where's your family from, Skip?
County Armagh, and actually Mary Markey was from Armagh, but they've now live on a farm in County Monaghan, which is right next to Armagh. Armagh, unfortunately, is now part of the United Kingdom, separated from Ireland, but Monaghan is part of the Republic.
Okay.
Okay, that's for you. Okay.
We don't want to cheat anybody.
So we've got the dry ingredients, and
Uh-huh.
we're just going to mix them up.
So after sifting the salt and the baking
Soda and cream of tartar.
cream of tartar, you're now mixing the raisins into the flour.
Right, right.
Okay.
And then we're going to make a well.
And make a wish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we'll add 2 eggs to this.
All right.
Which have been room temperaturing.
And we're going to put the shells.
You will put the shells right here, sir. I'm going to give you a bowl.
Okay.
And it's appropriately green.
Green. Emerald green.
Oh, well, you know what? I am forgetting one thing.
What?
That's why I needed that. I have to add sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you put about 3.5 ounces of sugar. So does that bring it back to 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so before the eggs, here, there you go. You want 3.5 ounces of sugar.
And we're going to mix this all up together.
So there'll be a little sweetness to this bread.
Because this is the morning bread, right? The
Well, no, you do
breakfast
it
bread.
also the bread.
Oh, with the other one too?
Yeah.
There you go, 3.5 ounces. So you can just sprinkle that in. Now normally you would have mixed that in with the other
With the
stuff,
other dry
right?
ingredients, right. But again, we're going to mix it all together anyway, so.
Okay. You know, it's all going to the same place. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just mix it up a little bit, get it on the raisins. Okay, and then we're going to add the second egg.
Now pretend like we're back to where the well.
So in the
was
well, we're going to
created.
add the second egg.
Okay.
And then we're just going to beat the eggs a little bit, get them all mixed up.
Get them a little wet.
And then you're going to add half of the baking soda.
You mean
buttermilk?
Oh, buttermilk, I'm sorry.
The other
So-
B word.
By the way, that was
6 ounces.
12 ounces of buttermilk.
Total? Or just right there?
Well, he added half, so he added about 6 ounces of buttermilk. But there's 12 ounces in that
I
measuring
see.
cup.
Okay.
And you mix it
I
half.
see it's starting to stiffen up.
So to speak. And then we'll add the other half.
So is this your kind of utensil of choice for this?
Yeah,
the
I like-
carving fork, does it work well?
Yeah, it's a thicker fork and it's good for mixing. It's if you try to use
A whisk.
a whisk or
It gets
a
clumpy.
thinner fork, it all gets clogged up and you
Yeah.
don't get a good mix.
Okay.
So as I'm doing it, I'm pulling it from the sides and we're making it. And the goal is to get it into what they call a soft ball.
Uh-huh.
And then we will get the board ready by putting some
flour.
flour on the board.
Okay. Well, you know what? You keep on mixing here until we get
Okay.
to a soft ball. We'll get the rest of the stuff ready, and we'll come on back once this is all
All right,
incorporated.
so we've got it
Okay.
into a soft ball.
That's
And I
okay.
forgot to mention earlier, I generally use an unbleached flour.
Okay, so an all-purpose unbleached flour.
Right, but you make sure it's not self-rising.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that you've got the soft ball and you're going to pour it onto a floured board.
You see, you see the flour on the board there, Ralph, that Skip put down. And that, of course, will prevent the dough from getting too sticky right on the
onto
board.
right, so that you'll be able to knead it. So we've got.
Do you want a spatula or anything, or are you good?
No, I'm going to use my hands.
Okay.
It gets
That-
messy.
Hands are the best kitchen tools.
Don't forget about it.
Bless you! One of our members of our studio audience just sneezed.
I hope you're not allergic to this soda bread. And we're going to add a little flour to it. And then you've got a soft ball, and what you want to do is just
Form it.
Yeah.
well,
Bless you,
get it
Helen.
into a harder ball, a bit of a harder ball.
Okay.
I'm using a smaller board than I usually do, but it'll all work. And some people don't like making soda bread because it really gets all over
Yeah.
and it starts to feel like it's a bit of a mess. But I watched one video of a lady making it, and she said if it starts to look like a shaggy dog, then it's right. and
All right.
this is about right.
Yeah, okay, so that's what
So
you're
we're-
going for.
Yeah, so you can see how the soft ball is turned into a harder ball.
Yes. You can see how it's come together. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know I'm going to need a sharp knife.
Okay, I will give you a sharp knife.
Yeah. 'cause
And
it's-
let me ask you too, should I bring over one of your baking dishes?
Yes, please. The square one.
Square one,
9 by
okay.
9. Yeah.
So
She's not
this is a
sneezing
very sharp
on the
knife,
dough.
okay?
Okay.
And I will
So-
say, here's what Skip has: an 8x8 baking dish here and a piece of parchment paper.
Yeah. And you've got all the flour in it, and
Yeah.
you just kind of put it in there, and it's going to make its own shape. So
Okay.
we'll let it go.
So this is
And do
sort of
that.
free form,
Yep.
but I mean it's round, but it will.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And now you want to do this so that the heat will get into the soda bread. So you take a sharp knife
Yes.
and you do a cross. Or do you have like a steak knife?
Yes.
And then,
Do you have any holy water?
Well, our family's Catholic, so after
So,
we do
all right,
that,
so what's the tradition?
so we go and we say, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
And again, these little perforations will help the heat to get into the middle of it.
Good.
So it's
And
It's like going to mass today.
so it's religious and practical.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's
So we
beautiful.
are ready to
right.
pop it into the oven.
So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees.
350
Per your
degrees.
instruction.
So we're going to slide it in
Okay.
and let it go for about 45 minutes.
I'm going to put the timer on right now for that. 45 minutes.
All right.
Okay. Got it.
And your hands are a little messy, but that's okay.
Now what we're going to do is let's get cleaned up, and we'll reset because he's going to make another one that's more of the darker one with the whole wheat flour and the caraway.
And we'll give
The Irish call it brown bread.
Okay.
and we'll give Helen some Claritin in the
So we are
meantime.
back. We have our Irish soda bread, the one with the golden raisins in the oven, and now Skip wanted to make the what do you call it again? The
Brown bread.
The brown bread
It's whole
version.
wheat. And again, I went to the bulk food stores where they have the stone ground whole wheat because it has a bit of the chaff in it, makes it a heartier bread. And you start off with the same 1 pound of flour, and then you're going to add 4 ounces, excuse me, of the white flour.
Okay.
So we're going to tear. And to that we will add our cream of tartar and our salt and our baking soda.
So this part's pretty much, Ralph, the same as the first loaf that Skip did.
Right.
So the breakfast bread version and this at this point are similar,
Yep.
but this one won't have golden raisins. This will be more of a dinner bread.
Well, and I'll add some caraway.
Oh, right,
Caraway seeds. So
And we're starting with the whole wheat.
And
So
the whole wheat. Yep.
Yep. So we've got the cream of tartar.
1 teaspoon cream
One
of tartar.
teaspoon. Yep.
Very
I'm
good.
going to sift that into the other.
There's your baking soda.
Baking soda again, 1 teaspoon.
And then sugar as well.
Yeah.
And no
and
salt, and then we'll add sugar as well. Right?
Okay.
And I do this like my cousin who lives on a farm, and she says you don't wash out the pot or the pan that you're mixing it in or the board. You just go ahead and make the next loaf.
Say, because Ralph, as you know, as soon as we were done with the other one, I wanted to wash everything, and Skip's like, no, just leave it.
Just leave
He didn't
it.
grow up on a
Okay,
farm.
got more to do. So
Okay, so there's your salt, baking soda, cream of tartar, and 4 ounces of flour.
right, and we will sift that into the stone ground whole wheat flour, and then we're going to add 3
How do you like that? How do you like that
ounces.
sifter?
Yeah,
That's older than me,
this
that
is-
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's about 22, 23.
That's why we invite Skip over, because he's nice.
So
There you go.
Okay.
So we've added that, and
All
now
right.
we're going to
Add the
add
Sugar.
3.5 ounces of sugar.
The sucra. Is there an Irish name for sugar?
I don't speak Gaelic.
Okay.
My father grew up in the north, and they didn't allow them to speak Gaelic.
They had to speak English. Okay, let's see.
3.5 ounces.
3, you're getting there.
She said anywhere from 3 to 4 ounces. but
Okay. So it's
There
at
we
3.5 on the nose.
There we go.
Okay.
Mix it in there.
Very
And then
good.
I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of the caraway seeds.
Now, you know, of course, we do a lot of Polish stuff.
Really?
And Polish, a lot of Polish recipes call for caraway seeds as well. Kapusta.
Yaktamichi.
Yes, and of course, you know, Polish rye.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I'm half Polish and half Irish.
What a great
We
combination.
have great weddings and wakes.
Dziękuję.
Proszę.
Okay, so now what he's doing is he's going through and putting everything together,
Yeah.
all the dry ingredients.
Mixing the dry ingredients, getting it all nice and mixed up. And then we're going to make a well to add our eggs and our buttermilk.
Okay.
And we'll be ready to go. Okay, nice and mixed.
There's your eggs.
2 eggs into
What?
the
Oh,
milk.
stop. I'm sorry. What, Ralph? I would.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. 2 eggs. Very nice. Okay.
And the eggshells are good to put around your roses.
I heard that. We don't have any roses, but
Okay. Excuse me. Got
I mean,
got
cut
a
that
frog
part
in my
out.
throat.
okay. As long as it's an Irish one.
Uh-huh. It's Herman O'Kermit. So, we're gonna just beat up the eggs a little bit,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna add the,
Your buttermilk, which is right here.
We'll
Again,
add
12 ounces.
Yep, and we add it by half. So we put about half in
Okay.
and start mixing it into the flour or flour into it.
Any questions from the audience? They're mesmerized.
And again, we don't have to let this rise because
The baking
buttermilk and the baking soda
Are your leavener.
is the rising agent.
That's right. So, you know, Ralph, we talk about buttermilk, how buttermilk has an acid in it. And the buttermilk hits that baking soda,
Mhm.
and the science happens, right?
That's right.
And that helps. That's what gives rise to the bread.
So
The
we've
chemistry
added the
lab.
other half of the buttermilk, and we're incorporating the rest of the flour. And again, we want to get it into a soft. So again, we have a soft ball, and we're just going to pour it out onto the floured board.
Got it.
We'll add the flour that's still in there into this, and then we're going to knead it. K-N-E-A-D.
Okay.
And get it into a harder ball, and then it'll be ready to go.
You know, this is so easy. When we've done yeast bread, of course, kneading yeast bread is a whole different process, and it takes actually quite a bit of time
Let it
and
rise
muscle.
and punch it down.
Yeah,
And,
and you know, you have to really knead it almost till it gets satiny.
yeah.
I love how the ease of this.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's, as Skip was saying before off camera, it's about 15 minutes of preparation and 45 minutes of baking, so that's really not a lot.
And the experts say if you knead it, if it takes more than 15 minutes, you're kneading it too much,
Okay.
and it'll come out tough.
You mean if the whole process of making the bread, right?
Right. It
Making
takes
the
more
dough.
than 15 minutes. So there we have a nice solid
Beautiful.
ball. Put it onto the parchment paper,
Okay.
and again we're gonna
Slice.
put across,
Yep.
and do our Catholic tradition. We'll say in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
And it is
I-
ready to pop in the oven.
We'll put that one in. Let me scoot that one over a little. And
Yeah.
how many minutes on that one? Skip?
45 minutes,
45
and then we'll
minutes.
check it.
Okay, we'll put that around.
Yep. So usually I have about 45 minutes. It's still going to need another 5 or 10 minutes, but I will flip it over and bake it upside down so that it's evenly cooked. And then to test it, you thump the bottom, and if you have a hollow sound in the thumping, that tells you that it's done.
Okay.
I did bring toothpicks so we can poke it into the center to make sure it's not
Alright,
gummy.
so
we're going to check the first bread.
Oh, that's okay. That's just the oven thermometer. No
I
worries.
will pull it out because I don't want it resting on the burner part.
Wow, look at that.
Well, we can see that it's starting to brown,
Uh-huh.
but it's still yellow there in the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it.
Oh, look at how beautiful that is on the
Nice and
bottom.
brown on the bottom.
So
and we're going to...
flipping it ensures that the top will get cooked thoroughly. Is that the idea?
Yeah, well, every oven has its own
It's
way of
different.
doing
Uh-huh,
things.
that's
So
right.
This is a way of getting it so the heat gets to every part of it.
Okay.
So we'll give it another 5 to 10
Alright.
minutes. We're going to see how this is doing.
It smells so good in here.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe there's no butter because it already smells buttery.
So let's see what this is like.
I love how beautiful that is, the browning.
Golden brown.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear that?
Uh-huh.
It's a little hollow, but we're going to test it with a toothpick.
Okay.
The tried and true.
And that is the buzzer on the other one. So let me just turn that off. You got a toothpick?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So where do you put it right
Put
in
it
the
right
middle?
into the center. And it's still a little bit gummy. So
Okay. So
we're
we
going
want
to put it
a
back
couple more
in
minutes?
for another 5 minutes.
Okay. So all told, it's probably been in the oven about 55 minutes or so.
Right.
Okay. So
And
we'll
again,
put it
and every oven
is-
has its own personality,
Yes.
so you need to get to know your oven.
So this is our 1966 Montgomery Ward Menu-Matic range.
Menumatic. Wow.
And it's got a fun personality.
It's got its own timing center.
Yes, and everything.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Signature.
Yes.
And a
So
fluorescent
this
light.
this is the stove we've been using this year, and I have to tell you, I love it.
You love it.
And Skip pointed out something too. Every time you check on something, obviously, I mean, this is probably obvious to most people, but to me, it's a reminder, since I'm not a baker, because it's such a science. But every time you open the oven, it's going to change, affect
Sure,
the temperature,
That's right. You're going to lose heat. So
even though it's a hot day.
we'll check it in another
All
5
right,
minutes.
So we are checking the first one.
Yeah.
And it looks to be
Oh, that's
done. It's
pretty.
nice and golden
Yeah, I
brown.
love the different shades of brown.
And you know, you
Yeah.
can see the golden raisins
Raisins
starting to
sticking
really
out.
be
So
more
we're gonna
distinguished.
take this and put it onto
the cooling rack.
the rack, yeah, and just let it. It'll probably still keep cooking a bit as it is.
Sure.
And we're gonna take the other one and we'll flip it.
Oh, the whole wheat.
This is the brown bread.
Yeah, the
wheat.
brown, the wheat.
Right.
That also
Oh,
looks.
wow.
See, remember Ralph when
The
he
cross.
sliced it in the cross, and that's really opened up that crust beautifully.
And you can also, with that cross, see how brown the flour really was in this
Yeah.
one.
So we will take
Flip
a
it.
little and flip it. And this still needs to
Beautiful.
brown up on
Uh-huh.
the bottom a bit, but we'll pop it back in for
Okay.
another 5 to 10 minutes and see you back in a few minutes.
right.
We're going to check the brown bread, see how it's doing. We had flipped it over,
Right.
and it is browning on the bottom.
Yeah, beautiful.
we
So
will
the temperature of the oven is still
350.
350. Okay.
Yeah.
How's that looking, Skip? Or-
It's looking kind of good, but let's do the old toothpick and
It'll
we'll
tell
see
us
if
for sure.
anything is sticking to it. It's coming out clean.
Give it another.
Yeah, we
jab.
give it another 5 minutes.
Okay. Put it right in the middle of the oven, Skip.
The middle.
Front and center. Okay.
All right. Let's see how the brown bread is doing. Oh, it looks beautiful.
Oh my gosh, does it ever?
So now we're going to flip it over,
It smells great too.
Yeah, it
and we
smells.
want to.
Give it that.
Can you
Oh,
hear
I
that?
can.
That
So-
hollow sound?
You're looking for the hollow sound, right?
Right.
Plus, we had toothpicked it before.
And it
And
it
was
came
clean.
out fairly clean, but we just wanted to cook
Uh-huh.
a little bit more, and
That's
it's
a
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Because nobody wants a gummy soda bread.
That's right.
Okay.
There we go.
So
We'll
now
let it
these
cool.
need to cool down
right.
before you cut into it.
That's right.
So he brought some wonderful Irish butter. We're letting that soften up. So we're going to let these cool down and enjoy them with our delicious pot roast at our dinner party tonight.
And that's what the beauty of Irish soda bread. You can cook it while you've got other things going on too.
Wonderful. So, we can't wait to dig into this, Skip. Thanks for showing this
All
recipe
right, the
to
bread
us.
is still a little warm.
A little
to the
warm,
touch.
yes, uh-huh.
But they've cooled a bit and
So we
ready to
will-
cut into.
Yep, we will slice it in the middle.
Okay. Cannot wait. Oh, wow. Ralph,
See?
look at that.
Those golden raisins.
Yeah.
Skip, that is beautiful. That really
Yeah,
is
now
beautiful.
So let's
all
cut
gummy.
into a
Let's
little.
try it. Yeah, okay, so we're going to have that, and then let's see this one here.
All right.
We gotta do the taste test.
This is the brown or wheaten bread, they call it.
Oh, look at that. What a beautiful texture.
Cooked right through. It's a nice dense bread.
Okay, well, let's cut off a slice
So we will. Generally, we cut them into quarters, and
Okay.
then you can slice them like this.
Nice. Yes, I like that.
All right, butter up
And
one,
then
Kev.
I'm going to butter one up. Give me a smaller one towards the end. We'll save that. Ralph likes the heel,
Oh.
even though he always says I'm the heel. But we're going to save
I never. Well, I never.
No, you don't. All right.
You taste that caraway?
Yeah.
Not too
Oh,
strong.
wow.
Of course, the butter, but when you're just talking about the bread, the caraway is not overpowering, but you do get it in every bite. And again, it has a little sweetness to it because there's a little sugar in the bread,
Yeah.
but the texture, the crumb.
Try the sweet one, Kev.
Cut up that sweet side there, Mr.
Alright.
McClatchy. I love the brown. Isn't that good, Ralph?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and boy, that's so beautiful. I can see where this would really be good toasted with butter on it.
Or jam. Or
And
Yeah.
we really could have doubled the raisins.
Mhm.
My cousin's husband's right. You can never put too many golden raisins in there.
Look at that.
And don't forget, it's Irish butter.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a completely different flavor than the other, but
Yeah, with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning, that would
the
just be
cameraman's
perfect.
signaling for a
Okay,
taste.
Yeah.
It's really
Gotta
good.
feed everybody.
Wow.
Union rules.
Thank you, Skip.
That is
Thank you.
our Irish soda bread.
So you know what, everybody? Bread is something you break with friends and family and people you love. That's what we're going to do here in a few minutes. But what a treat to have this wonderful home-baked Irish soda bread
Yep, and
from
it's
an
really
Irish person.
easy to cook, and it freezes wonderfully. So if this is like too much for a family, you can freeze half of it.
Yeah, sure.
And take it out, thaw it, and toast it up, and it'll be wonderful.
Bread is life.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know what? We had a great time doing this. Thanks again, Skip,
My
for
pleasure.
making it so much fun. We hope you all had a good time watching us and being with us on this episode of Cavalcade of Food. And we'll see you next time, right here on Cavalcade of Food.
Goodbye,
Bye, everybody.
Sans kilts.